What's up, y'all? It's your boy Said. Let's talk. What we talking about this morning, Said? This is what we talking about. Overweight kids. Overweight kids and who's to blame. Let's get into it. All right, y'all, listen. When it comes to kids being overweight, right? Some people don't have a problem with that because they say that that's a sign of the kid being well fed. And I can understand that, right? And it is most of the time, right? Most of the time. Or some of the time, let's say. But when you break down the fact that some of these kids aren't 5 and 10 pounds overweight. We talking about some of these kids are 30, 40, 50 pounds overweight. Well fed or not, that's a problem. And we have to understand this, right? That is a problem for a child to be 30, 40, 50 pounds overweight. Why is it a problem? It's a problem because they can't develop correctly. You know what I'm saying? All that extra weight on them and stuff like that will tend to have a lot of health effects. You know what I'm saying? Negative health effects. Then that's going to bring on other stuff, and now these kids is on medication before they reach 15 years old. You see what I'm saying? It's like a trickle-down effect. But why are these kids overweight? Why? Systemically, is it a problem? You have to look at it from that aspect, right? When you got poor kids, overweight, right? Like poverty-stricken families and stuff like that, some of their kids be overweight. And you thinking about it like, well, if y'all impoverished, how can your kids be overweight? Like, how can they have an excess of food to eat? Well, that brings on the bigger picture type thinking, because now you have to look at the food that the impoverished kids are consuming. Because even though they may not be consuming a lot of food, it's unhealthy food. The sugary stuff, the cheesy stuff, the greasy stuff. You know what I'm saying? All that stuff like that, the fat-laden stuff, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, even though they may not be eating a lot, the food that they are eating is just laced with fat and all this other grease and cheese and sugar and stuff like that. Whereas people who are in a certain tax bracket, a certain income, they have the ability to afford themselves better food. You know what I'm saying? It comes down to that. Systemically. But at the same time, y'all, once again, who's to blame directly? Is it mom's fault if her child or kids are overweight, significantly overweight, borderline obesity? Is that mom's fault for being able to cook or being able to provide her kids with healthy meals, non-healthy meals? Because that's what she can afford. But hey, she can cook and it tastes good and she's able to feed her kids. So is it mama's fault? Is it daddy's fault for not teaching his kids about nutrition and working out? You know what I'm saying? Being outdoorsy, you know, that kind of stuff. Is it dad's fault for that? I'm just saying, like, you got to look at it from that aspect, because all of that plays a part. All of that plays a part. Why are these kids overweight? What is triggering these kids to be overweight? Now, let's get into something even bigger. Is it mama and daddy's fault? Is mom and dad overweight? Do mom and dad care about nutrition and exercising and working out and stuff like that? Now, I'm not saying you got to have a Bowflex body, but, you know what I'm saying, at least be in shape, some sort of shape other than round. Because what mama and dad do, the kids are going to do directly. So if they see you just laying around eating and chilling and, you know what I'm saying, that's what they going to do. If they see you after you eat, you know what I'm saying, you get up and you being active and you moving around and stuff like that, that's what they gonna do. So once again, I asked the question, is it mom and dad's fault? But guess what? Mom and dad is adults. They got a 40-hour plus work week that they got to deal with. So maybe they tired, right? They go to work, bust their butt, come home, get a meal. They want to just chill out. But guess what? Now the kids see this. So the kids do the same thing. In the kids' mind, they start understanding that work hard and then rest. Go to work, work hard, then rest. Okay, yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. So the kids do the same thing. They go to school, work hard, come home, rest, jump on the game, jump on their phone, you know what I'm saying? That kind of stuff. Why? Because they see mom and dad do it. They go to work and they work hard, then they come home and they chill out on the couch or in their bedroom or whatever. So the kids subconsciously think this is what you're supposed to do. So once again, I ask, is it mom and dad's fault that kids are overweight? Is it the government's fault for not funding inner city communities with rec centers and basketball goals and stuff like that? Because we know in the hood, they take down a lot of the goals and stuff like that. Basketball goals. Would you see soccer goals being put up? Anyway, that's a whole nother discussion. But you see a lot of the rims, the goals, the rims being taken down. Ain't no swimming pools in the hood, or very few, you know what I'm saying? So once again, you know what I'm saying, there go your two things that can keep a lot of kids in shape. A lot of kids in shape. So once again, now, is this systemic? You know what I'm saying? Is it Big Brother that's doing this? Making sure that the hood don't have funding to put walking tracks and stuff like that and trails and, you know what I'm saying, that kind of stuff in the hood. This is what I'm talking about, y'all. Whose fault is it that these kids are overweight the way they are? Borderline obesity. It's ridiculous. You got 15-year-old boys who weigh more than 35-year-old men. 15-year-old boys who weigh more than a 35-year-old man. Hell, in some cases, you have 15-year-old girls that weigh more than 35-year-old men. It's ridiculous. It is ridiculous how bad, excuse me, some of these kids are overweight. Makes no sense, y'all. Makes no sense at all. I'm your boy Said. I'm out of time. Till the next time, I'm screaming, let's talk. Peace.